open strong, baby. We open strong. We open strong. We be strong. We got this going on. We're opening another place. And we did, we have the other place. What was that, Pastina? That was a great place. That was a great place. Outside, can't get sick, because I think people are sick all the time. Because you have no idea what they do with these mics when we're gone. Just kidding, that was for you, Kenzie. And I wasn't even looking at you, because I want to welcome the comedy, the one and only Patty to the stage. Let them hear you.
Hey, hold on. Let me get this.
Give it to her.
What's that?
Give it to her, she'll do it for you.
Oh, this?
I think we need to finish.
There you go. Hey!
Hey,
Come on!
Hey,
Hey!
Come on, keep it going. Let's ride the crest of this magic energy, shall we? I want to start my set with a period joke. My sister is, having an angry period. That's the period after divorce, but before menopause. Hey!
Hey there.
And also, let's get the whole N-word controversy out of the way. I want to say something. Look, sometimes someone out of nowhere will drop an N-word, and I got to say, hey, that's not my thing, man, Stop, dumb, And I do make one exception if the speaker is an N-word. I base that judgment on the color of the speaker's skin, and that proves I'm not a racist. Hey!
You gotta be smart for that one, LA.
I think right now, the whole level of crazy with Johnny and Amber Heard, have you been following it? You know who love Johnny and Amber is Will and Jada. Because Johnny and Amber, their level of crazy makes Will and Jada look like Claire and Clifford Huxtable.
Oh.
Well, maybe that's a little different now. I actually worked with Bill Cosby years ago, and I had the Bill Cosby cappuccino machine ready to go to market. Not such a good idea anymore. I put that along with a Harvey Weinstein soap on a rope.
Oh, I love it.
Hey, good idea then, maybe not so good now. The thing is that you have dueling therapists. Do you watch this? Have you watched this Johnny Depp? Are we interrupting something, sir? You don't seem very happy. That's okay. You're a beautiful group of people. There's one or two shitbags here. But think of all the money that they have spent on therapy, right? Like fucking amazing, right? Like I have a therapist who actually, and what I've learned in therapy is that all tension is sexual tension. My therapist can tell your personality type by who your favorite Beatle is. If you like Ringo, you're fun-loving. If you like George, you're spiritual. If you like John, you're intellectual. And if you like Paul, you're a homosexual.
Whoa!
Hey, a little Beatles humor. That was the band that Paul McCartney was in before Wings. Just to let you know. That's for the older folks on ageism. But here's the deal. All this therapy. Here, first of all, Amber Heard, she looks for soft men who are rich. I think she hates men. I think she actually is a lesbian that hates men. But I'm just speaking frankly, but she targets men, right? And she is not the type of crazy where she's going to hurt herself. She is the type of crazy that attempts suicide by jumping out the basement window. That kind of fucking, right? Johnny, I think, would hurt himself. I think he would, It seems like, you know what I mean? Like, a hot fecal delivery. I'll take an entanglement any day of the week. A fucking hot, you can kind of understand, you know what I mean? But here's my theory. Let me see if you're with me, okay? As opposed to all this fucking money spent on psychiatrists. Just send Amber to spend the weekend with Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Oh! She would. Could you imagine her shitting in Chris Brown's bed? That's a Gibson Cotton, bitch! Boom! Her eyes will shine like diamonds. Shine like a diamond. Remember Rihanna years ago?
How do you stop it?
Hey! Yeah. What else? You guys are a good-looking group of people. I want to thank you for letting me be here. Your generation is miles ahead of my generation sexually. You own your sexuality. You don't judge other people. You of course have keychain nipples, which I've always advised. How do you get them through the metal detector at the airport?
I don't know.
That's okay. That's fine. Anybody here with piercings? No? Are you in there, Swimba? No
I
piercings?
ain't got one. On my ears.
See, I'll tell you, like, I have never sent a dick pic in my life. And I'm, like, by a round of applause, who has sent dick pics here? I mean, okay, very good. And it's the few people I thought. Like, there's no surprises there.
I'm surprised.
Andre, I love Andre because he would wear a sport coat to a swap meet. I saw him in the steam bath at the health club. He was wearing a fucking sport coat. That's very Armenian.
It's true.
He's a gentleman.
He is truly a gentleman, yes.
Yes.
I never sent a dick pic, but I did send a drawing of my penis to a woman I met at Pick and Save. Regular mail. Do you guys know what Pick and Save was? It's like Big Lots trailer park cousin. Great prices, but everything's fucking broken. Yeah, a gal I met at Pick and Save, I did send regular mail, just a drawing of my penis, and it took a couple weeks, but she replied with the drawing of her coochie. She wasn't a very good artist, though. It looked like a flying squirrel with a big pink nose. That's a vagina joke. Come on! Yes. What do I got here? Let me see if I got something. Would you like to hear something new?
Yeah! Come on, Patty! Come on, Patty!
I was recently, I had to go into therapy because I was clinically depressed. You know that? Clinically depressed. And I'll tell you what happened is, I'm 58, and as you go on in life, you lose people. And some people died. And it was sad, 3 of them owed me money.
Oh, shit.
It's just a different kind of mourning. It's not the same type of mourning, And
It's just not.
actually, one of my in-laws actually died of COVID. That was sad, because it was the wrong one. Oh, come on!
There
Are you
go.
married? Any of you married? Well,
Yes.
Okay, you fucking know, but the rest of you, you probably don't know. And I mean, this was actually said. My mom died. A couple years ago. Either that or she's been ignoring me for a couple years. But if you knew my mother, you wouldn't find that hard to believe. My mother had a borderline personality that had no borders. No fucking borders at all. She was kind of like a chain-smoking skinny Roseanne with an Irish brogue. Yeah, she made Amber Heard look like Mayim Bialik. She would say just crazy shit, super terminally Catholic, and she would just shout super Catholic shit out of nowhere. Like, I remember one time she yelled out, "You ever notice all the pro-abortion people have already been born, Patty?" "Honey, I'm 7. Can I have a Pop-Tart? Where's my doggy?" Or I remember one time, I used to hide from her in the basement with my dog. She found me in the basement, and she said, "Honey, the way people treat you when they think you have cancer, and the way people treat you when they want to fuck your sister are exactly the same." No difference. No difference whatsoever. And she was kind of wicked in a way with humor. She could use humor as a weapon or in a twisted way. Like, her favorite thing to do towards the end of her life was just to walk up to random people and tell them she voted for Obama. You don't have to tell the waiter you voted for Obama, Ma! I'm actually just kidding you guys. My mom would have never voted for Obama. My mother was an immigrant, a strict Catholic, and a devout racist. I know, you think those would exclude each other. Sadly, no, sir. They did not. Like, she constantly referred to my wife as her lovely ethnic daughter-in-law. "Is there anything to your lovely ethnic daughter-in-law?" Which is funny, my mother sounds like someone's lovely ethnic daughter-in-law. But, like, my wife is brown. That's the only, my mother sounds like someone from somewhere else. She just, my wife Her parts are from the Philippines, but they were assembled here. Like, one time my mom was drinking, I know, Irish mother drinking, very hot. And it was the 4th of July, and she referred to my wife as a hot Chinese cartoon mouse.
Oh, damn.
I was offended. She's Filipino. It's a whole fucking different culture. It's a whole completely different. Yeah, what are you going to do? That went over well, don't you think? That went over very well. You don't know where I'm going with this. Yeah, that went over very well. Let me see if I got something for you here. How am I doing on time, Sunda?
You have a minute.
A minute. All right, well, here we go.
That's only because we started a minute early.
That's okay, that's okay. So,
You got time.
I have never, in 29 years of marriage, I have no naked pictures of my wife. You guys have naked pictures of yourself in your phone right now. We know who. Right? No naked pictures of my wife, but Andre has offered to sell me a phone. How is that possible? How is that possible? And I'm going to wind up with this. Recently, I took my little dog to be cleaned and groomed, and I took him to this place, and as I took the dog in, the guy said, "Would you like your dog's anal glands expressed?" I said, "Could you do that to me first?" He said, "Oh yeah, sure." Well, I want to tell you something. It was fan-fucking-tastic. Changed my life. Really, it was. So about 5 weeks later, I take my dog back in, for another cleaning, and I says to the guy, I said, "Do you mind doing that to me again?" He says, "The first time I was just a favor. I was just doing you a favor, and we're not licensed for humans." But he took his card out, and he wrote on the back an address. And he said, "This is the epicenter of anal expression." Turned out to be Andre's apartment. I'm Patty! Patty Forconedy. Keep it going for the amazing Sunda!
He is so funny. Yes, he is. We got to keep it going. Do I have a lineup?
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, just we're gonna get it together. But you know what we're gonna do, because we got people in the water. People have been sitting here all day just waiting. I said, you know what? It's time for Tricky Nick. Let's bring him to the stage. Nicky B, let's go. Come on.
What's going on? How's everyone doing? Oh man. Whew. I honestly just do this to get high off of just standing here and having the social anxiety, just get my heart rate up. And at some point in time it'll come down and I'll be able to actually think and make jokes. It's kind of like when you start doing drugs, if you've done drugs before. That, the first time you do it, it's great, and then it gets not as good the second time. Eventually, it's not good at all. But you keep doing it still because I don't know why. I probably need a doctor to answer that or something. But, you're my biggest fan, aren't you?
You don't know how funny that is.
I do.
I know you do.
A little bit.
They'll be doing it on TV to watch.
What is it? A joke I had. Oh yeah. So I have a lot going for me though. Hold on. I'm 30, and I have a lot going for me. Right. I'm single. Right. Disease free.
Hey.
I have no kids that I know about. So things are going good. And the secret is just don't have any sex with anybody. It doesn't matter how. Just stop trying. Just stop trying to do it, and it will chase after you everywhere you go. And especially now, with the Me Too movement and everything, you gotta be careful because you get in trouble. So I only have sex on camera or in public now. Just be careful. So that's just that. I'm sorry about it. So my grandpa's getting old, but he calls me up and he's like, some kid moved in next door. I was like, how old was this kid? He was 65 years old. That's a kid to my grandfather. And,
Wow.
I don't mean to depress people. That's supposed to be a good thing. Like you're still young. You still got life. You know. Still got life. You know. Women used to be considered property of men. And it wasn't until really like World War II, where all the men went off to war, the women were able to join the workforce. You know. Thanks a lot, Hitler. If you needed another reason to hate the guy, you know. We should like clone him and then kill him again. No, don't do that. There's probably people like in China and shit like cloning people and bringing them back. I'm sure they've made like TV shows and stuff about it. I'm pretty sure they made TV shows and stuff about it. I was wondering. The boomers are always like very uncomfortable, especially with like the transgender community. I know, even I'm not used to it, but like the boomers doesn't make sense because I was looking at a yearbook from 1970, and like half the dudes look like ladies. Like, these people acting like they don't know what's going on. A little bit. I don't know. Man. I don't know. I'm not informed yet. You know, I'm still learning. I'm a student of life though. Most people walking around they're just complete idiots. You know, there's nothing going on in their head. There's absolutely zero internal dialogue at all. It's a good transition to pull out like some jokes I have written down, right? So I'm from New York, and when you're from New York, you have like a healthy amount of paranoia that you grow up because you don't believe in kindness. It doesn't exist. If somebody's nice to you, it's just like, what the fuck do you want?
There you go. There you go. Tell him.
I'll have like someone come up to like, what the fuck do you want from me? Get the fuck out of here. And it's just like, I'll have someone like try to do something nice to me, like, and I'll just like start, like if a girl will give me a compliment, like, I'll start like patting my pockets, making sure they're not working with someone. Like I saw like a kid lost in the middle of the street. I'm like, I'm not falling for that shit. Sorry, I've gotten got before, and it's not gonna happen again. The thing is though, LA is like a whole different beast because LA is disarming. You come here, people are like genuinely nice and friendly. And it's just like I feel weak being here. Like I feel like it's like kryptonite. It's like sapping my energy. Like I have this kindness and that's coming out of me, and like the people are like genuinely like very nice, and like it's like I've been trained to like when someone's nice to you, you be nice back. Like this is what they taught me in church, and like not that they do that at all. The church. What is it? The church. I was trying to figure out like why people are still going to church. It's like, why are people still doing it? It's like, and it's mostly old people, and I figured out why, because the church knows how to make an hour feel like an eternity.
Hey, there you go.
So the old people are trying to, hold on. Especially around here, you got like people like new religions moving in, and they're really devout and stuff. They just haven't gone through the period of pedophilia that we went through to find out that like, all right, doing this shit, like we should be a little careful. Just like it's more of a social thing. Most people, I think most people are just in it for social. Most people are in it because if you're not in it, they'll fucking kill you. Like that's. I don't know why like people have a problem with using curse words at all. Because it's like don't use it. That's adult language. And like I turn an adult, they're like, what are you? That's childish. Why are you cursing? It's like, who the fuck are these words? Who are we keeping these words from? Like the Amish, like. I mean, you gotta teach them, the little kids, to not say them. You gotta I can't. Or the best is if you like one of your friends has a child, you go up to mommy, like ask her what a cunt is. I don't want to curse. Right?
No, if you don't call somebody that's different. So maybe say bukyak. Say bukyak.
I'm just saying, like, bukyak.
Bukyak.
You saw The Sopranos, didn't you? No.
What else do you call it?
lived The Sopranos.
Yeah.
That was in a scene from The Sopranos. Bukyak. That was a good scene.
It's okay.
What about the kids?
Punani.
Punani?
Punani.
That's Indian, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I know a little bit. The best thing about Indians? They party harder than every other culture because they believe in reincarnation. See you in the next life. Yeah, what do we what are we doing on time?
You know exactly what time.
I don't. I have no idea. My heart rate is like 180. Let me tell you a story. Like before, Suna, when you called me earlier and you're like, "Where are you?" I'm at the studio. Where are you? I was actually like buying weed. I was like, I haven't touched weed in like 10 years, and I walked into this shop, and literally it's the same type of shame I had going into church. I was like going into this weed shop, and I'm like scared. Like, am I gonna get arrested, or like is my mom gonna walk in? Because that's really like that's the person I'm afraid of the most. You know, if I'm gonna be honest.
Yes.
I'm just thinking about this right now. Like, this lady's a really strong strong source of my fears in life. Is this woman? And look, maybe a lot of the things that she said were, to keep me safe. Maybe a lot of things, or maybe I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm lucky to have her, though, right? Is that what I'm supposed to say, or like?
Lucky to have her.
All right, you're a mom, so like I'm like pressing a button there.
Oh no.
Is there time? Okay. What are we doing? Oh, there's a timer right there.
There you
I
go.
can see it. Wait, that's not a timer. Is that like it's going up and down? That time. Seriously, what is the timer?
We want to see you sweat.
This is my my corporate voice. This is my corporate voice. This is my talk when I'm on Zoom. Which I work remote now, so I'm just on a laptop. So my commute to work is just like. If I'm late. Funny to me. That's what I say when a joke fails. Right? No, seriously, is there like no time now? Like you're just.
No,
like,
you have a minute.
Okay. All right. Yeah. 1 minute. You're like the pizza guy down the street. And I can make.
1 minute. 1 minute.
I can order like 2 pizzas. I can order 15 pizzas. He's like, okay, 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes.
It's like no matter what
20
you order.
minutes. 20 minutes.
Let's see what I do. Yeah. So I've never used the N-word. I've never used the N-word. That's not true. That's not true. Every white person has at least tried the N-word. I used to have a Mexican friend that would like peer pressure me into doing it when I didn't want to. But I did try using the N-word to get out of jury duty one time, and it backfired on me. The lawyer was like, "I want that man on my jury." All right. We're done on time,
And
right?
then you're going to say, where's your social media? Thank you.
Oh, where's my iPhone? I'm gonna say that. Where do you live? What's your bank account? Personal information?
Your social security number.
We're not even gonna need that when we're older. The shit's gonna be gone. Oh, I cursed. I'm not supposed to curse.
No, you can car. I don't care.
Why? Oh, why? And why do we have to wear clothes? That was my other shit. It's like especially Cali and Florida. Like that's just the government, mandating, like forcing consumption and shit. Right? Okay. All right. That's it for me. My name is Nick.
Nicky Big.
I'm gonna work on the outro. I'm gonna work on the outro.
You are, right?
Thank you guys. Thank you for paying attention to this.
Oh, stop it. Thank you. We love you.
I didn't know if I should say your last name because it ends in a vowel. You're gonna want to scare people.
I'm
Right,
working on
Ryan?
it.
We
My
want to make
personal
sure
is,
we got this together
yeah,
over here.
hear it.
And that's why we want to give it up and say we're going to do a little higher with the comedy of David Schneider. Bring him up. Let's go, David.
Thank you. Be here. And I don't like texting so much. You know why? It's like every time I'm doing this shit, like half of the letters are all fucked up. So what I try and do is text, audio. The only problem is because I got, this thick, tough sounding Brooklyn accent. Every once in a while, a word or two is going to come out the wrong way. It's going to sound similar, but got a completely different meaning. Like last Valentine's Day, I sent my wife a text. Happy Valentine's Day, love. I'm under your spell, you witch. LOL. I put the L in there to show how campy I am, that I don't really think she's a witch, right? But despite clearly saying, you witch, LOL. You see where this is going? It comes out, Happy Valentine's Day, love. Get my money by Tuesday or I'll break your fucking kneecaps. My wife doesn't like that joke. I can't understand why. My whole life, I've always considered myself to be a normal, happy-go-lucky type of guy, right? So if you should ever see or hear that one day I completely snapped and you wondered why, mostly it would be because of the Department of Motor Vehicles.
Yeah.
Last week I had to call the DMV, find out where my renewal license was, get a message, you've reached the Department of Motor Vehicles due to unusually high call volume, hold times are longer than normal. Unusually high call volumes? I'm supposed to believe that today, the entire state of California had DMV shit to do. Like if I would have called any other day, the message would be, you've reached the DMV, policy and renewals will be back in 2 minutes, he's taking a piss, don't go nowhere, he's got nothing to do the whole day. So then the message goes on to say, oh, before that, I think the DMV needs to change their message to, you've reached the Department of Motor Vehicles, sorry. Maybe it's worth coming back to that. So then the recording goes on and says, your estimated hold time is, and then there's like a 2-second gap in time. 2 seconds to find out my bait. My hands are sweaty and shit. Says, I know it's not going to be good. I mean, normal hold times with the DMV sucks. Unusually high, it says 2 hours and 13 minutes. 2 hours and 13 minutes. You know what the first thing that went through my head? Relief. I was expecting it to be worse. I'm thinking, wow, 2 hours, 13 minutes. I'll still get to see my kids grow up. You know, maybe I'll get a chance to go to the movies once in a while. Only the DMV can get away with 2 hours and 13-minute hold time, right? If I got to call my cable company because the box don't work, and I get a 2 hour and 13-minute hold time, I hang up. Then I carefully unscrew the box from the set, wait the recommended 30 seconds, and throw it the fuck off my balcony. But for some reason with the DMV, 2 hours and 13 minutes, I'm feeling blessed. And now, the DMV tries to be my friend. They says, if you'd like us to call you back at this number without losing your place, press 1. No. There's no way I fucking trust. Are you kidding? I got friends and family who don't return my calls. I'm going to think that some guy from the DMV is finished with work, driving home, pulling into his driveway when it hits him. Oh, fuck, I forgot to call Schneider back. Oh. And we promised. Now I better turn around and go back to the office. Can't risk that DMV losing that 5-star Yelp rating for customer service. So what I do is I put my phone on the speaker, put it in the middle of the living room because that's the ground zero from my apartment, right? And I could hear everything. And I go into the kitchen. And meanwhile, what the DMV does is they play some music so I know I wasn't disconnected. Not just any music. They play Muskrat Love by the Captain and Tennille. Now, in case you're too young to know, Muskrat Love is a song from the 70s about two muskrats in love. And in the middle of the song, there's a synthesizer that plays muskrat love-making sounds. So, how fucking great was my day so far? But here's the crazy thing. After only 20 minutes of listening to muskrats fuck, it goes quiet. I'm thinking, it's showtime. I'm so excited. I leap from the kitchen to the living room. I'm dancing up and down. And then I hit a message. All operators are busy helping others. Please continue to hold. Or if you want to hang up, press 9. Total fake out. Total fake out. But it wasn't all bad news, you see? Because now I got the code. They gave me the code. If I want to hang up, press 9. See, without this info, I could be on hold for days, wishing I could hang up, praying I could hang up, with no idea how to hang up. They could put a guy on the moon. Can't they think of a simple way we could just hang up the phone? So now this message comes on like every 5 minutes, and I'm like Pavlov's dog, you know? Like a trained monkey. Every time I go, fuck! Until the 10th time where I don't give a shit anymore. And that's when they changed the message. All operators are busy helping others. To continue holding, press 1. What? The fact that I didn't press 9, doesn't that mean I want to stay on? So now I don't know how much time I got to hurdle 2 couches and a coffee table to get to my phone. Problem is, by the time I got there, I forgot what number to press. I know, don't press 9, that's the doomsday number, you know? So I took a guess. I pressed has two. And the human answered in Spanish.
How?
So now I'm frantically trying to remember any of the high school Spanish I took back in the 70s in Brooklyn. You know? The only things I could come up with is like the shit that we would talk about in class, like, Me llamo es David Schneider. My name is David Schneider. ¿Cuántos dólares es su hermana? How many dollars is your sister?
Oh! That's the Orthodox.
But it wasn't all bad news. It wasn't all bad news because the DMV guy was cool. He realized that I didn't understand Spanish and transferred me, and for $50, I get his sister.
Yeah!
I have one quick question before I take off, because I'm done with that. My wife had an issue with that last part. No, seriously, you know, she's not a prude or anything, none of that. But she thought that after I basically say, you know, what I do to Qantas Dolores, I don't have how many dollars is your sister, she thought the ending should simply be $50 and hangs up. Guys, $50. So I don't know which one would be better.
The one you did.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go tell my wife to go fuck
Oh,
herself.
there you go! David Schneider!
You got it?
We're getting arrested.
No, why?
He said Sopranos and we're getting, I doesn't, we're
Two
never
guys
getting
with
arrested.
suits, two guys with suits walking.
Oh
I think
yeah,
they're shutting the
we're
place
from
down.
Jersey, so we got it covered. I got the
FBI
exits.
is here.
How you doing? Forgive me. David also?
Yeah.
I knew that. You see that? Except he's a philosopher.
That's what
The juice payment, lay down the juice payment.
David,
Oh,
if you guys gotta go to the bathroom, do anything, do it while I'm on stage. I wanna find you guys a chair. How did that happen? Where'd you get the chair? Where'd the guy go? Here you are. Hello there. You got the chair. Okay, I thought you wanted to sit with each other. I don't know. I don't.
We are sitting with each other.
Oh, you don't know that? Oh, you don't. You didn't come together?
We're all together.
Oh, you're all together.
We're all together.
All right.
We're here.
It looks like a family reunion, saying the truth. Come on,
That's
come
what
on
this
now.
is. That's what this is.
Where are you running to? Did you write your name down?
No, but you said use the restroom while you're talking. So
Yes.
Use the restroom while you're talking.
And this, you know why I
You
say
have to
that,
sign
guys?
in to use the
And just
restroom?
wait, when you
No, I
hear
don't
my
think so.
voice, when you hear my voice, you can come in and then, you know, we're not listening to you pee or anything. You know, we're not going to do that. I wouldn't follow you with the microphone.
Not again.
Not again. Not the last time. You better watch your back there. Hello there. Hello. Here comes. Keep the mic. Let's follow.
Make sure you wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Look on.
seriously.
Okay.
It doesn't matter because the key's dirty.
Whoa! Follow you. Follow you. Okay. He's gonna go in there. Something got him excited. I think it's the anal extraction thing that you did that got them going.
I like anal extraction humor. It's one of my flaws.
Listen.
That's what my whole bit is about. So.
Oh my God, this party started right, Brian. Aren't you glad you came in tonight? Let's do it. Bring up Brian. Come on, baby. Let's do it.
Yo! Second time up on stage for an open mic, so we'll just kind of go with what we see. Let's see, what's a good way to start? So, ever since I was young, my mom told me not to be a porn star. Yeah, it's pretty common at this point for me. You typically wouldn't hear that from a normal mom, I would hope. But I'm a theater major right now, and I enjoy sex, you could say. Sex is kind of fun. I got to a point where I was like, what's the weirdest thing I can do sexually? And COVID really came in. And, you know, you're looking through Tinder. And what, you just move the age range up, you know. For me, I'm 21. Feel young, even though, I don't know, like, yeah, last week I had a full beard, so it's a bit different. Now, I find this woman named Debbie. Oh, Debbie. She made me see things. At a ripe age of almost 49, she, you know, okay, let's go back to it.
Tell us.
You want to know about
Yeah,
Debbie?
we want to know about Debbie.
Debbie! I can tell you what Debbie. You want to hear about Debbie?
Come on, he wants to hear about
You
Debbie.
want to sit down. You want to sit down and hear about Debbie.
Oh wait, all right.
Oh, no, come on. Debbie,
Let's hear
so
about
right when I met her, she first said she was 38,
Okay.
first off. So I'm a little, I later found out she's 48, so it's a little bit messy on who to believe at this point. But yeah, I'm 19. So this is like right at COVID, so I'm 19. You know, I moved out of Chicago the year before. I've had sexual intercourse, you might say. I know my way around a woman. or a man or whatever I feel like at the moment. But it's more at the point that Debbie's with me. I haven't been with like anyone since I moved out here, and now I have someone who's twice my age. I would say she looks like a Native American grandma. She's someone who would guide you on a spiritual path of sexual pleasure at this point, as it leads to. We get our margaritas. The dumbass I am, I'm like, I'll pay, I'm cool. I'm going to show off to my mom. And everyone's like, they literally don't ID me there at this point. I'm just there, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just chilling with someone. They don't really, they literally think I'm with my mom. So I just get to know them. I kind of just say, like, yeah, at this point, I'm kind of like in a fucked up mental state, so I don't really care. I'm usually high already. But we're good. We get double shots of margaritas. We're going, and I'm like, yeah, what do you want to do now? She's like, well, I got an apartment nearby. I'm like, well, I want to go see what this kind of apartment looks like. I mean, for me, all I have is a bed, a fish tank for some reason, and a lot of alcohol and weed. That's pretty much all I'm living off of right now. But this woman, it was a lot of crystals. It was a lot of crystals. Like, I mean, she's like, so first off, she's 48 years old, and she's single. She works in like a fashion thing. I don't know what that means. She has her own apartment in like Beverly Hills, so she's doing good, I'd assume. But then, yeah, I already found out she's 48, and then she later, as we're like, getting more drunk, I'm blacking out at this point, and I'm like, she wants to fuck because she's like right before like the action goes. I don't want to get too graphic as a child show, but yeah, it more involved around her wanting me to do most of the work. Cause she was like, I haven't had sex in 15 years. I'm like, okay, I'll keep fucking you. And like, yeah, okay, thank you for letting me know that. It's like 15 years ago, my balls weren't there. So I don't really, thank you. Yeah, turns out she had an ex-boyfriend, also went to the same school as me. Who was like 10 years older than me. A while, like, they were just together like a while ago. And randomly, she was like, yeah, he left me, like, randomly with this other girl across the country in Florida. I was like, she's out of the blue? She's like, yeah. I'm like, that's good. That's good to know. Good that someone would want to leave you like that. It's a military guy, so how the fuck could she be, like, that crazy? But with the crystals at this point, like, there's literally, like, I'm on the bed, there's, like, a couple there, 3 there, this pink speaker that is blasting some music that I'm not a fan of, so I'm like, oh. And then she's really like, more! And I'm like, I'm drunk. So at this point, it didn't work out back then, when when COVID came in, there's no working out, so I was kind of out of shape. Could only go for probably a bit until I'm like, okay, it's about time to lay down, and then I'm like, it's not working. So we have to go to the bathroom and vomit, of course. So now I've vomited in this 48-year-old woman's bathroom that I met an hour ago, with a little more crystals in the bathroom. So I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't want to be here. She's like, oh, it's okay. She just comforts me. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And then I lay down, and she just like, I'm just like trying to relax, and the more music plays, and she's like, I'll get you some water and stuff. And I'm just like kind of falling asleep, and then kind of start to feel something on my dick. Kind of like I'm trying to just like relax, and then she kind of starts playing with it down there. And she's like, this is my like. I've been told my ancient traditions have been trained to please through my hands. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like scared, excited, nervous. A lot of things are going through my head right now. I'm like, why? What is this? Why is this the time? And I'm like, last week I asked a girl on Tinder to go on a date with me, and she said, I don't care about you. So it didn't go well. So I mean, and now I'm with Debbie. Now I got Debbie. What do you think about this?
Yeah, Debbie.
I got Debbie.
You and Debbie, dude.
So yeah, eventually I recover from that spiritual Native American massage, let's say. I came out a different person. I wouldn't say for better or for worse, I'm not really sure. But I definitely changed. And then I was at that point, I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I did it. I'm done. Came back one more time, to be honest. 'Cause I was like, I'll try it sober and see what happens. But Debbie, she's still she's in my memory. The one that got away. The one I wanted to get away. Because then, like a month or two after, she followed me on Instagram. So she has an Instagram.
Oh, shit.
And the bio is just 10 different emojis. So I'm like, this is a good one. So it's been, so tied into the porn star thing at the beginning.
Okay.
I've learned a lot about myself sexually. Yes, that's why I wanted to know this. I went to a physical therapist a couple days ago because I'm fucked up. I have chronic migraines and my back has been hurting for most of my life. Don't know why. It's just a life, and I'm like used to it, so that's why I like weed a lot. But to it, he's like, yo, you just like keeps like testing different things, and like he's pretty much then he's like wants me to like, can you suck your dick? And I'm like, no. Maybe that's just, it was a joke. He was a joke. He was like, yeah. You can. That'd break a lot of code. That'd break a lot of code if you said something like that. But no, he's like out of 10, all the tests he ran, I am like one of the most flexible like people that there could be out there. My ligaments just don't support my like body well enough, so my wrong muscles are working overtime. So I'm like, I learned this now. I've had 10 years of chronic migraines going in and out of doctors to learn that I could have just literally just like done this with my body and it would have helped a bit. Like certain muscles, he wants me to breathe different too. So I'm breathing wrong apparently. But it actually it's helping a lot. So that's been the good thing. But now I'm supposed to get off weed because I don't have a crutch anymore to say my excuse. So we're getting by now. We're happy and healthy. And let's see. There's one other thing I want to talk about. Oh yes, I remember it.
Okay.
So, you guys ever use those scooters around here? They're everywhere. You guys love them or hate them?
Love them.
You love them, hate them, or some hates.
The best.
Oh, they're good and bad. It's kind of great, except when I've seen a couple get thrown right into the highway, right into like the LA River Basin. I've been to punk shows where they don't care. They'll be taking NOS and then just going crazy on whatever. But these scooters, I really didn't like them. I use a little bit because I just when I wake up hungover for class, I got to get to class in like 5 minutes, so I'm not gonna do anything else. But I've realized that they are more than just like good. They are like heaven because they know how to save a life. When you have a car coming at you and sideswipe you, you need some armor. So this happened to me last week. I got sideswiped by a car while just going home from campus, and I was like, there's a stop sign, there's a whole pedestrian thing, it's by campus, so it's like, he's coming, he stops, and I'm like, I'm just going, mind my own business, happy, listen to music, and then he just comes by, and he's like, oh, and then I'm like, he sees me, right? He didn't see me. So, it wasn't like fast, but it was like, he was probably at like 10 miles per hour when I was going this, and I was like, okay, and now I'm on the hood of his car, just chilling, and then I'm like, I grab the windshield wiper, bend the fuck out of it, his hood's dented, and then I look over, and I just see his face, and his car's like, and he's fucking scared. So I'm like, well, I'm on a call right now, dented the hood. I just wanted to go get weed, to be honest at this point. And I'm like, the scooter did save my life that day. It didn't work anymore, so I was like, well, I just like messaged Uber. I'm like, it didn't work. And they just refunded me. So we're good on that. Besides that, I am on a car hood still, and he's freaking out. And eventually, I'm like, just get up. I'm like, I really didn't do much because I kind of just like fell on top of it. The scooter and the bumper did the most of it. But once I'm there, I kind of get up. He's like freaking out. There's like people around us. Like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. It happens. You get hit by a car. It's not that big of a deal. So he's freaking out. He's like, I'm not even from California, bro. He's just so scared. And I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. Just send me $30. And he's like, what? I'm like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I really don't care. I don't want to deal with insurance, anything. You're freaked out. You're in worse shape than me at this point. Because I'm like, well, like, I had like one scrape. I had my phone in my hand, and I just like dropped it at one point because I was just like on the hood of the car. Like I was just laying down like this for a bit, and then everyone was just around me. I'm like, well, okay. So I just got another scooter and left.
Are you okay?
Yeah, this is like last week. I just didn't go to class. I got in a worse shape on this like yesterday when I was on my skateboard. I was like late. I was 20 minutes late to a final, Shakespeare final. We were just told to bring a song to be to the scene. So I just came in, skateboarded, and fell because I'm in a rush, tired. I don't get much sleep.
Because you're young.
Yeah, which that actually the reason that I was late was because the night before I went to a karaoke bar. You guys been to these? Pretty fun. I don't know about you guys, but I love to sing a little too much. So at one point, I was literally not letting people go up for someone else's birthday. I was like, I'm the one singing. You guys kind of suck. But then I got drunk enough, and everyone was a good singer. So So, and then there was like, so the girls I were with, it was one of their birthday, and then a couple of them, none of them are from America. They were all from like Brazil, Turkey, random places. I know ethnic. It was nice. I was like, I kind of only know one of them, and I was like, okay. But then I was like, they started playing Sweetie, and then I was like, okay, I don't really listen to her, but, and then every N-word said in the song they said, and I was like, okay, I didn't expect this. So I was like, yeah, I was like, I go to USC. So there's been a ton of people that are canceled for that, and I'm like, I thought I was around people that wouldn't, and then they didn't care. They were just drunk white girls, white European girls, just blatantly saying it, and I'm like, you're in the wrong place for that. But it was a good time, regardless, besides the racism, but I shouldn't support that. I'm going to talk to him about that, I think. What would you do for a Klondike bar? I think someone here wants a
somebody
Klondike
knows.
bar. Klondike bar?
Klondike bar. Hello there.
It's Rolf again. I don't know who
Rolf.
It's the other Ryan, right?
Ralph? No, I'm Garrett.
You're Garrett.
Yeah.
Right. Two
Garrett.
R's, two T's.
Okay, Klondike bar is just a segue, just when I get lost. It's a good one, because then maybe.
Right?
Safe words.
What's a good thing to say? Because I have a couple things. Drinking fountains. What the hell? What are drinking fountains for anymore?
Washing your ass.
Yeah.
Washing your ass? Have you ever washed your ass? It's a hard thing sometimes because you can like, if you like, I can be hairy sometimes. You can be hairy, I can tell.
I can be.
You can be. Depends on how you're feeling. So.
I am, and I also can be.
Yes, it depends on the mood and what you're doing. You know, if you want to get like we talked about ass eating earlier, you missed that.
I've been talking about that today.
You good? Okay, good. So it's like, are you gonna manscape down there or just let it go? Because like I don't eat ass, but people eat ass for me. So it's been a good life. I've been able to find it where people will just eat my ass. It's a good living. But you do need to do manscaping is what I was talking about. Like, if you're just going to leave it fully hair-free, it's going to be a jungle, and they're going to get lost. There's going to be a few stragglers and things, but you want it to be a full, clean landscape to get right in. But you don't want to do it yourself. You can other people. There's people there that have enough mental problems that they'll do anything as long as they have, as long as you give them affection. It's okay. But you cuddle them afterwards, so it's okay. You give them the love. I don't know how much time I have left, but I'm
Give us love. Where do we find you?
You know where to find me? I can be found everywhere. 325 West Adams Boulevard, not Lorenzo. My Instagram is ryan.benson, ryan.benson. You can find me there or wherever. Love you.
Ryan! That was fucking great! Hey! Second time on stage. Make things happen. You gotta have a seat. Garrett, 2 T's, 2 R's. Where's the chairs? I can't find it. Oh, they're next to you. They're behind him. No, that was for the set.
The set chair.
But I think we got enough for everybody.
No,
there's 30 right here.
they're out, they're out.
Is that one up there?
Yeah.
It's for the set, it's for the, no, there's one there. Is there one behind you? No?
That one's
all
up there.
There's one, there it is. See?
Yeah,
What did I tell you? Turn around, there's a chair.
Take a chair.
Take a chair, any chair.
Not the couch set.
That's what my terrible suit.
So somebody spilled coffee. They're doing a joke, and they said, "I'm gonna pour the coffee on it." They poured it on it, and they're like, "I was just kidding."
That was a funny
Just-
joke.
That's a stupid. Is it a drunk joke? Is that a drunk joke?
Yeah.
And when you're sober, you remember it.
Mm.
So nobody's black in your family?
I'm half black, actually.
Half black.
Yeah, I was adopted.
Half lap.
Oh wow! I could be my fucking son. The son that Wes and Sunda never had. Because when I was 49, where were you? He got the girl. He got the girl. You see, they gotta watch out. But everything in this room is okay because we have the comedy of the one and only Miss CJ. Let's get up here, go away. Let's do it.
Hi. Oh my goodness.
Woman in comedy.
It's a little while for me. I just came back from another open mic, so.
All right.
Yeah. And I noticed there was a lot of New Yorkers in this room.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Nice people.
I'm so scared because my old roommates were New Yorkers, but the nice kind. Do you know what I mean? You know what that means?
You don't know me yet.
They're gay.
He is Italian.
He's Italian.
I don't know.
It's terrifying. I say that because, like, I don't have material anymore. Like, my old roommates legitimately stole my material. That's why, like, I'm up here trying to make up new shit because, like, I don't have anything. Like, my life is lost. No, well, they were cool until, you know, they started, like, sneaking into my apartment and just, like, you know, messing with my food, doing stuff to my bed, taking my stuff, and then, you know, it got personal when they stole my material because now it's my life. It's fucked up. No, but seriously though, I have an okay life, I think, right now. I managed to get out, you know, I survived. I have PTSD, but I survived. You know? I managed to move into a new apartment. It's a private area, a very nice place, you know. My parents were very supportive. You know, my dad's Mexican, my mom's Guatemalan. You wouldn't expect them to be supportive, you know. Yeah. So it means I'm half Mexican and half Guatemalan, you know, so I'm completely insecure. You know, my mom's Guatemalan. That means she's from a third world country. Yeah. I forgot the rest of that bit because I stole my material.
That should be your callback. It's none of my business what you do with your rap. You're funny, you're jovial, you're very friendly, and then every time you fucking forget it, you did it again. Make the callback if you have to.
That's a good point. Thank you.
Right?
Yeah. I love this room. You guys are so nice. The last room I was in. No, yeah, seriously. The last room I was in, like, the vibe was like, yeah, nobody cares. And that's like, yeah.
We care, right now.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you know, my relationship with my dad is like, it's okay. You know, this morning I had a really bad morning because my car battery died on me. And you know how that is where, like, when you have to go to work, I was just about to leave the house and, you know, I was trying to turn on my car and I'm just to let it warm up and then I was like, shit, and I have to call my dad instead of AAA because my dad doesn't trust AAA, you know? It's bullshit. And I talked to my dad, and at least he was nice about it, because growing up he wasn't that nice to me, you know? He was always very, very, like, stern and mean, rigid, just like, I don't mean like he cussed at me, I mean he was an alcoholic. Like, he was only like this when he was drunk, though, you know? If he wasn't drunk, he was just, like, quiet. You know, like, mean, quiet, he would sit in the backyard, chill by himself, and then he would drink and then knock at my door at, like, 12 in the morning, like at midnight, just to say, hey, you know that money that I got? Spend it on you. And your mom. And your quinceañera. There's no punchline. There's none.
Your roommate stole it.
Yeah, my roommate stole her punchline, yeah. Yeah, no. I remember when I was growing up, though, when I was a teenager, my dad had when he was hitting rock bottom, there was a point where he was hitting rock bottom, and I would talk to him sometimes, and he would sit me down and have, you know, lectures and conversations with me about, like, mindless things, you know, why I shouldn't do drugs, why, you know, I'm lucky he's not worse off and all that, you know. He would tell me stuff like, you know, I've tried every drug you can possibly think of. You're lucky I'm just an alcoholic. And I'd be like, well, and I kind of say, you know, I'm actually more scared of the fact that you're an alcoholic than a drug. You see, a drug you can relax. Is it true or not? I mean, I don't know.
Depends on the drug.
Very good point. Yeah. My dad actually went down the list of what kind of drugs he's used. He's smoked crack. He has snorted coke. He has shot up anything you can possibly think of. And he said, "You think Bud Light is your worst enemy? It's not." Yeah, no. That's you know that's his choice. You know, Bud Light. Or so they tell me at Al-Anon, you know, you can't apologize for anything. They're just gonna do whatever they want anyway. What else?
Not everyone knows what Al-Anon is. Explain it. You know, Al-Anon is a place where then you bring the joke back.
Yeah. Al-Anon, it's where you go when you have like a friend or a family member that is a drug addict or alcoholic, mostly alcoholic. You know, you go into a room, you sit down, you listen to whoever's speaking, you go over the, you know, the amendments, all the, whatever it is. Like, it's kind of like, you know, they have a 12-step program, a lot like they do in AA, but in this case it's more like the 12 commandments, but like of alcoholics and how they live by those rules in order to have a healthier life and whatnot. And honestly, I went for maybe a good 5 months and never learned a goddamn thing. You know, I did my best. I took in what I could, but Jesus Christ. Some of these people are fucked. Their lives make my life look like rainbows and daisies. It's not rainbows and daisies. It's a cakewalk in comparison. You know, my dad was still responsible. He paid all the bills. He did what he could. And, you know, all these other people are talking about, like, I don't know, some lady said something about how her kid was hearing her dad having sex upstairs. And the kid was like 12 years old. And I'm like, holy shit. That reminds me of when I was like 6. And I used to be able to hear the next door neighbor. It's almost the same, only it's not my dad. Anyway. I'm just trying to think of stuff to say, because, again, I have like nothing.
They keep stealing your stuff.
Yeah, they keep stealing my stuff. I'm pretty sure they're still stealing my stuff. Actually, I do remember one that they stole that they tried to recite right outside my house, in front of me to rub it in my face if they were in my apartment. So I had a spiritual teacher for a very long time. Only it turns out during the pandemic she relapsed into her sex addiction.
Was it Debbie? Maybe it was Debbie.
Probably. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Debbie.
For Debbie. Ryan.
She ended up relapsing into her drug and sex addiction, and you know, part of that sex addiction was when I would come over to her house, she would talk to me about, like, you know, whatever it was that she would do with the guy or whatever, and I'd sit there and think, oh, you know, it's a spiritual lesson. It's not really a spiritual lesson, and you know, she talks about it like it's like the best thing that ever happened to her, you know. And one day she sat there, and I was sitting there for a good 2 hours listening. I didn't say a word. I was listening, and she was talking about how she had tantric sex with this guy, and I thought, all right, what's tantric sex? She was like, it's when, you know, you have deep eye contact, and you're quiet, and it's slow, and it's this and it's that, and I'm like, so you're quiet. What?
Was she with Ryan?
Oh, Ryan!
There we go. Sorry, Ryan.
It wasn't quiet.
Oh. Don't let your roommate steal him.
Well, next thing you know, she's telling me about all this, and I thought to myself, the only reason this guy agreed to actually have sex with her is probably because he wanted her to maybe shut the fuck up. I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much.
Where can they find you? Where can they find you?
You can find me at cj.villagomez. No. On Instagram, my handle is cj.villagomez.comedian. Thank you.
Villa Gomez. Villa Gomez. Villa Gomez.
Oh, it's beautiful. I got friends named Villa and friends named Gomez, and that's just so exciting for me. And everybody's here. Tip your hat to a new guy in town. David, come to the stage, please. Thank you. Give it up for David.
I get offended anytime I see a white person with dreadlocks. Not as a black person. I get offended as a balding person. How you gonna go waste all that good white people hair? I went on Facebook and I got a suggested post for Rogaine. And I was like, even the algorithm's coming at my hairline now. I was like, all right, maybe I should give it a go. And I looked it up, and Rogaine is actually poisonous to cats and unborn children. So it's like, sure, I'll have a full head of hair, but who am I going to hang out with? It's going to be some lonely brunches.
Got it.
And I was like, all right, maybe I should try that hair loss pill, Propecia. Looked it up, number one side effect of Propecia, impotence. Yeah. So it's like, sure, I'll have a full head of hair, but how will cats and unborn children respect me? Supposed to be the pack leader out here.
Yeah.
A little bit about me. My dad is an immigrant from Ghana in West Africa. Yeah. And my mom is a black woman from Detroit. So I thought that made me as black as humanly possible. Like the only way you could be any blacker is if your dad is from Atlanta and your mom is his own shadow. But then my mom called me up. She did one of those online family tree things and found out that my great-great-grandfather was a white man. Yeah. I did it, guys. I'm white. Started from the bottom, now I'm white. Started from the bottom, now I'm 1/32 white. Started from the bottom. Haven't been white that long. Already got my first rap parody ready to go. No, the first thing I did when she broke the news is I ran to Costco and I bought all the sun cream. Yeah, you're not going to catch me peeling out there. Unless it's an avocado. I don't know if you peel avocados. I haven't been white for that long. Give me some time, guys. Gotta say the weirdest thing that happened is a lot of the white people I know just lost their only black friend. Also, now I need a black friend. Clap it up if you have at least one black friend. Round of applause if you have more than 3 black friends. Put your hands together if you have more than 7 black friends. Honestly, I think it's weird that you guys are counting how many black friends you have. I just see people, man. What's wrong with that? I went to this gay bar to be supportive of a gay friend of mine. Clap it up if you... No, I'm just kidding. I went to this gay bar to be supportive of a gay friend of mine, and while I was there, a man grabbed my butt and winked at me. I was a little weirded out. But then I started to feel kind of special. No one's ever grabbed my butt like that before. But then, a few moments later, I saw the same man grab another guy's butt. I was devastated. I'm not gay. I didn't want to be with him. I just didn't want him to be with anybody else. I see a lot of people getting in trouble in the news for saying all this problematic stuff. But I'm not shocked that people are still racist or homophobic or misogynistic. It's 2022. I'm surprised they don't realize they just gotta hide it, you know? Don't get me wrong, guys. I love gay people. I accept all races and religions. I think women should be treated as equals. And that's all you'll ever hear me say when there's a microphone in front of my face. It's a conditioned response. I'm like Pavlov's dog. I see a microphone and tolerance comes out. I have no problem with Hindus. Cambodians, I've never met any. but I like the concept. White people are not the devil. See how easy it is to lie, guys? Thank you so much. I'm David Edgecombe.
David, where can we find you?
I'm on Instagram, David Ray Edgecombe. I mean, you can spell it as David Ray, R-A-Y, A-G-Y-E-K-U-M.
A-G-Y.
A-G-Y-E-K-U-M.
U-M is in Michael?
Yeah, M as in Michael.
And you know it because you do it. Like they told you in Ghana, baby. See that? I knew African.
You see, you know what's funny? Because he's African. I never do material. Don't worry, I won't. But it's so funny because people say we're African American, but I'm not. I'm black. See, he's African. He can say things. He knows, right? Because Africans don't like black people. We don't work. That's right. I heard it. You do your little walk. You know we ain't walking like that. We gotta take a little. I want to take a little sip.
My mom's black.
Tell you the truth, so was mine. Charcoal can make a white mark on my mother, so you know my daddy must look like it. Well, okay, we're not going to have any fear because the person that hosts when I'm not here is here, and I'm so glad to have her here, the one and only Charlotte Peter. Give it up for Charlotte. Have a good step, Charlotte.
I'm studying Arabic at UCLA, and whenever people find that out, they always like ask, "Why the fuck are you doing that?" Because nobody knows why. They ask if I'm Middle Eastern, and no, my ethnicity is I'm half Italian and half annoying. Sorry, Jewish. My ex is schizophrenic, so I think the whole time we were dating, he was probably seeing other girls. It's probably nice because he probably never got, I'm so nervous, why am I saying probably?
I don't know. Maybe we will.
Because he probably never got I didn't take enough Klonopin. It's prescribed, don't worry. But yeah, he was probably never alone during quarantine, or he probably never felt alone during quarantine because he was psychotic.
Then you would say, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, one time I came over to his apartment and he was like, "Oh, my roommate made me dinner." I was like, "Blake, you live alone." Yeah. I forgot my shit.
It was stolen.
It was.
A fucking roommate is out.
What's weird is that when I open Pornhub, the first things I see are like college girls, girl on girl, and sometimes gymnasts. So sometimes it makes me feel like I'm like a walking embodiment of the top porn categories. Like, instead of Pornhub having that orange and black logo, they should just have my face. And I'm looking for a stage name, so I guess Charlotte Khalifa would work. I might make some money too.
Okay.
Yeah, but I am looking for a stage name, so if you ever see me as another name, besides bitch, then I was really sick as a kid, and because of that, I might be infertile if I try to have kids. And I was really devastated about that for a long time. And then Roe v. Wade got overturned. I wasn't that upset. Now my girlfriends are asking me, like, "How did you do it? Is it a superpower?" Speaking of that, though, on this day, I am 19 years old and 3 months, so in 9 months I'll be 20. So if I'm not pregnant today, then I beat teen pregnancy.
Yeah!
It's
true. It's true.
I'm good at getting people pregnant.
You've been watching too much Pornhub.
That's how we made it this far.
Yeah, in gay sex, there's typically a top and a bottom. I don't identify as either of those. I think I'm a threat. Alright, and that's all I have. I don't really have a lot.
You are who?
My Instagram is Charlotte Pizzillo 1.
Is she great?
She's great. When I'm not here, she's here. She's here doing it for me. But you know something? We're not, there's no bore. You bored? Not bored, right? Having a good time?
No, not at all.
Can't be a bore when you're here with Thor. Where's Thor?
Oh shit.
Oh shit! Let's do it! Tell us to go fast.
How you guys doing?
Yeah.
I'm Thor. I'm from New York. I was born in Harlem in 1984. My dad was a tour manager, and my mom was a Playboy bunny, and I'm a drug addict.
Yeah. You're number Thor.
And I too went to Anonymous Alcoholic, but it was called Project Rainbow because I was 15, and they didn't allow minors to go to that. But I would have to say, you know, hey, my name's Thor, and my drug of choice is marijuana, and it's been 30 days since I've smoked, and that was always a lie, because I was drinking 2 gallons of water before every meeting, and being crystal clear in the cup. To the point where one time my bladder exploded.
Oh my God.
And,
God.
I was in severe pain and started profusely sweating in the meeting. And they were like, can I use the bathroom? And they were like, well, people who have to use the bathroom usually are drinking too much water. And I was like, no, I didn't drink too much water. And then I peed in the cup, and it was just all water. And they're like, this is water, you're definitely drinking water. And yeah, that was about the time I got arrested when I was 16. And I got arrested with a bunch of weed. And I was already in this program. And I was telling them the whole time that I hadn't been smoking. And then we had a 10-cent wing night. You guys ever have that in your hometown? 10-cent wing night. It was Tuesday nights. They get rid of all their wings before schmucks come in and buy them. And I wasn't allowed to go. I was grounded. I was a big troublemaker when I was younger, single mom. And I stayed home on AOL Instant Messenger instead. And one of my buddies goes, hey, Chris K-Pack, he got into a car accident last night and he had to put an ounce of weed on the side of the road in the snow. And you should go get it. And I said, yeah, that's a great idea. So the next day at school, I asked Laura Schultz to borrow her car. And I had never driven a car before. So I went to go look for this ounce of weed on the side of Route 303 in Rockland County, New York. And my buddy Justin Meyer came with me. He did know how to drive. And I wasn't smoking at the time. I was really trying to be a sober person and do the program. So I said, leave me out right here. And I'm looking on the side of the road in the snow for this ounce of weed. And it was like trying to look for a needle in a haystack. And I couldn't find it. And then a cop pulls somebody over on the road where I'm looking. And he sees me and I see him and I look really guilty. I wasn't good at crime yet. So Justin comes around and I specifically gave them directions. Do not smoke in the car when I'm looking for the marijuana. Because then if we get pulled over, it'll smell like weed. And this is just basic shit.
Right.
And I get in the car and they're not only smoking, but they're smoking a huge roach clip. I don't know if you guys know, but that makes it smell even worse. It's like somehow worse than a joint or a blunt because it's like the leftover. It's like almost like refried beans of the weed world. I don't know why I said that.
That's great.
So I get in the car, we go up this hill, and I'm paranoid looking behind me, and 3 cars back, all of a sudden there's the police car. And I'm like, fuck. And we're at a red light, and we're making a right to go back to our high school. And I'm like, well, if the car behind us makes a right, you know, we still have this buffer system. No, both cars go straight, and the cop puts on his right blinker and immediately throws on his sirens. And I'm like, fuck. And I wasn't good at crime yet, so I already had a bunch of weed on me while I was looking for the weed that I was supposed to get. And it stinks like weed. And I'm in a thing called Project Rainbow, where I'm supposed to not be doing any of this. We're gonna get back to Project Rainbow. This all ends at Project Rainbow. And then, so he pulls us over and he goes, yeah, it smells like weed, everybody out of the car. And I had these 555 sole pants on and a North Face jacket with a Nyack baseball hat on. That's the team I played on. I was a baseball player. I don't know if you could tell. They're looking at me. And he goes over the pants. There were these special pants that had internal lining inside the knee. So I would pack the knee. I sold weed in school. So I would pack the knees with weed. And he goes over the knees and he feels something, but it was consistent. I had both knees the same bags. So it didn't feel abnormal. He's like, I'm like, these are skateboarding pants, so padding. And the pants were inside, like I told you, so he didn't know. And he goes up into my jacket, and he reaches in, and he pulls out 5 bags of weed.
No.
And he goes, you're, I'm about to tell you my real name, Evan Torrance. He goes, you're Evan, aren't you? You play baseball, you're pretty good, right? And I said, yeah. He goes, your coach would love to hear about this, wouldn't he? I said, no, you know, I'll probably be kicked off the team. He goes, you know what? I think I'm going to let you go. I think I'm going to let you go. And he takes the weed and he puts it back in my jacket. I go, oh my God, thank you so much, sir. He goes, what are you, a fucking idiot? Pulls out the cuffs, grabs my hand. And I said, no way, I just ran. Yeah. So he already knows my name. I told you, I'm not good at crime. I'm running. He already knows I have weed. He knows my name. I start sprinting up the hill. I just beelined on him. I beelined on him, and I make a right on Valley Road.
Oh my God.
And this is like my stomping grounds where I've been playing manhunt my whole childhood. This guy had no shot. He had no chance. So I go into this guy's driveway, his backyard, and there's like all these pricker bushes. Remember that show Guts? Anyone remember the show Guts, Agrocrad?
Guts.
Yeah. What was that lady's name?
Mo?
No, let's go to Mo with the results. Remember Mo with the results?
Never
What the
watched it.
fuck was that? Did you guys watch Guts? No. Okay. Well, at the end of Guts, there was like this huge obstacle course. That's what I'm comparing these pricker bushes to, that I had to navigate through. So I go through these pricker bushes, I'm getting all cut up, I put the North Face hood over my face. I was supposed to do something totally different here. I don't even know what I'm doing. Look, this is not on my hand. So I run into the backyard, and I get through the prickers, and this guy's he's really out of breath, big time. And I got like 100 yards on him. So I finally take a break, and I look back through the prickers, and he doesn't want to go through all these prickers. And I'm all like cut up now. And now I'm looking at him, and he's looking at me, and I'm hearing sirens. And I'm like, shit, those sirens are for me. I don't know if you ever heard sirens and they're for you. It's a fucking weird feeling. So I said I should hide somewhere. So I hide in the front yard of these people's house underneath a bush. I put my North Face hood up, tie it tight, and I curl in a ball. And now the cop finally reaches the driveway. And he's like, I'm out of breath. I had 2 breaths. I had a breath in my heart and a breath in my throat. And it was like, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I don't know if you've ever had 2 breaths. I had 2 of them. And he gets to the driveway, and he's like almost having a heart attack now. And he's calling for backup. And now all the cops converge in this cul-de-sac where I'm hiding in the front yard of this place. And I'm literally hearing them like talk everything about me. And I'm watching. And it's really fucked up. I'm gonna get back to Project Rainbow. So eventually the cops leave and it's freezing. There's snow covered all over the ground. I'm hiding in a nook. And I decide that I'm gonna bear crawl, like an army crawl, to safety somehow. But I don't know if you guys ever bear crawled places. You don't get that far. I think I got like 1 yard, one backyard, not an actual yard. And once I got through the one backyard, and there was like 30 to go, I'm like, I gotta get up and start walking. So I hit all the weed, and now I'm walking, and the cops finally come on me, but not on my back. Pause. And the cop comes up to me and goes, "Edward Torrens." And I go, "No, my name's Evan, but people call me Thor now." I'm a teacher. Yeah, my nickname, I didn't have the nickname Thor yet. My nickname was actually Mind Frame back then. I was a rapper. And so they arrest me, and they bring me to the jail, and turns out they shut down the entire high school. The entire high school went on lockdown that entire time. And my mom comes, no, they released me from jail, and I'm thinking somehow my mom didn't find out about this, because now I'm getting released from jail and I'm free. My mom drives right up as I'm walking. Yeah. She goes, "You're going straight to Project Rainbow." So I get to Project Rainbow, and they had heard all about what had happened. So they go, instead of the, "Hi, my name's Evan and my drug of choice" thing, that's how all the meetings always start. You say your name, you go in a circle. And by the way, at those meetings, all you're doing is meeting other people that are awesome and do drugs, to have sex with and do drugs with. It's not a good place for young kids who are doing drugs to be, because it's like the all-star, it was all the high schools in the county, the all-star drug guys in one room. To this day, I'm still friends with some of them. So they go, "Evan, why don't you tell us what happened to you today?" And I go, "Okay." And I tell them the story I just told all of you, and now the whole room is like captivated and like on the edge of their seat and cheering me on. And then the drug counselor is like, "No, no, no, like this isn't a good thing, this isn't a good thing." And that's Project Rainbow. And then, yeah, years later, people started calling me Thor. I grew my hair out, okay? Why did I grow my hair out? I read an article that if you have long hair, you get superpowers. It started with the Native Americans. I don't know if you guys heard this. The World War I, World War II, they hired a bunch of Native Americans to track things, and then they gave them the military haircut. And what happened once they gave them the military haircut? They couldn't track anything. They said, "You just cut our antennas." So they had to go find more natives with long hair to be the trackers. I said, "Let me try this. Let me try to grow my hair out." And people started calling me Thor. I went to Coachella, and these girls called me Thor. I said, "Let me change my name on Facebook to Thor, because then none of my old friends will be able to find me. And the government won't be able to arrest me." And yeah. And we drove a Tesla here. We drove a Tesla, and we wore suits. Because the nicer you dress, the worse you can behave. Okay?
Ask the Armenian over there.
And when you're wearing a suit, you're actually more funny. Because I'm not funny, and some of you laughed tonight. So. And then I'll finish with this. We were talking about sex. Someone brought up anal sex. I tried anal sex once. And I used to think I had a small penis. Until I did anal sex. Because my penis did not fit in the anus hole. Didn't fit. And someone should have taught me that you're supposed to loosen up the anal hole. You're supposed to start with a finger, and then 2 fingers, and then maybe a thumb. But I just tried to put my penis right in, and she bled, and we never did it again. And I somehow walked away thinking maybe my dick's not as small as I thought. Thank you very much.
Where can they find you?
Thor Torrens on Instagram. Thor Torrens on Instagram.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Give it up for Thor over here. Oh my God! You know what? Just once in a while, don't you want to be a man? Don't you just want to be a man? Reverse it. So when a guy says to you, "You want to try it?" You know, my husband says stuff like that to me.
Yeah.
So, you know, something goes. You know, you go on stage, you shake your ass, you dress up and everything. When you get in bed, you're boring.
Oh, man.
So I said, really? He goes, same thing all the time. I said, you want to do something else? I said, you want from the other way? He said, yeah. I said, all right, bend over. But once I want to be the one that say, hey, it slipped. There you go. Here we are again with the comedy of the one and only Andre Abrahamian.
All right, how you guys doing tonight? Nice. I know, I thought I was the only one in a blazer tonight, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't special. That's what my parents and my ex-girlfriend tell me. Yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about relationships. You know, but before I do that, I want to talk about New York. There's surprisingly too many New Yorkers in this place. You guys just shit on the West Coast, and I take this personally because my ex-girlfriend's from the East Coast. Okay, she's from New York, and she thinks, you know, people think I'm from the East Coast because I talk a lot, and I'm an asshole just like you guys. So the truth is, you know, you're no better than us in California, all right? And people in Los Angeles, they got their own agendas, so you just got to be yourself. But the thing about New York is, I love New Yorkers. I'll be honest, I really do, because you guys take it in stride. You take everything in stride. If something, you know, if someone spits from like the Empire State Building and hits you in the face, you're like, it's fucking raining. Fuck you, you know? Like, fuck you, God. I'm not gonna take this shit. You just move on. And I mean, I love New York. Don't get me wrong. I actually go and watch a lot of Broadway. I'm an actor, and that's why this is going to be a train wreck. Why I love New York is it's just some of the best talent, the best actors, and it's so competitive. And what I love most about it is when you go watch Broadway, if you ever have a chance, try to go to a musical. Because these people work really hard, okay? These dancers, these actors, try to sit in the front row just like this, and you'll see them, and you'll see like everything about them. Exactly, the projectile vomit is coming at you, but it's good. It's like, you know, they'll be like standing right here, and their posture's all, because what they have to do is, as an actor, you gotta be ready for the people all the way in the back. You know, that's the whole point. The people in the back need to understand the same thing that's happening in the front, okay? But it needs to be seamless. It can't just be like a ratio, you know? That's why like film actors are bad stage actors. That's why Jeremy Piven did 3 days of Speed the Plow, the Mammoth play, and he faked, you know, sushi poisoning. You know, very understandable. But I love Jeremy Piven. I think he's great. I've seen him live. So sorry, Jeremy. Anyway, so when you go to a Broadway show and like you know, you'll see like the singers and they'll be like being alive, and like for some reason the Broadway actors will just be like and like they'll do like a hip check. You know what I mean? Like, and I respect the hell out of that because you know. Hey, you got hips, you gotta use them, you know? So, anyway, enough about New York. You guys all talk about yourself anyway, all the time. I got dumped this weekend. That was, yeah, exactly. There you go. See, it's funny, because on Monday, people were like, oh, it's so sad, you know? And then yesterday, I was at the Jewish deli, and everyone was giving applause, you know? They're like, yeah, fuck that, you know? And I'm like, whoa. I was like, you don't even know the situation. I feel like getting dumped in your 20s is different than being dumped in your 30s. Because in your 20s, it's like, you know, you're like, Jennifer dumped me. And like your friends, they're like, they don't want to be supportive. They're like, really, you know, it's like a Tarantino movie, you know? And, you know, but it's like Paddington if Tarantino directed it, you know? Like, it's misogynistic, but it's like in your face. It's like, I'm like sad about Jennifer, and they're like, motherfucker, grow up, you know? Like, it's fine. And I'm like, what? And he's like, say that again. And I'm like, all right, chill. Like, but when you're in your 30s, everyone's like Channing Tatum from like any Channing Tatum movie, you know? Like, he's just, I'm like, hey man, getting me back, you pick me up from LAX, and they're like, yeah, you had a good time? I'm like, no, me and Christina broke up, and not doing too good. And he's like, that's awesome, man, let's get some KBBQ. So, we just move on, and it's tough, but you know, I learned a lot. You learn a lot in relationships, especially the bad ones, mostly, the ones that don't exist. But, you know, I personally felt like I grew a lot because this girl, she took my BDSM virginity. If you don't know what BDSM is, just Google it. But it's like S&M, it's, you know, bondage, and there's a dominant, and there's a I think it's a submissive, right? I was pretty bad at it. It's not a reason why our relationship ended. Not that I'm saying that, but I know what you did, Christina. Anyway, no, nothing against her. She's fantastic. We ended up being friends. What?
I said you're not over her.
No.
Oh!
We have a woman in the house. That's the thing. We as men, we're very simple. Okay, we think we get it. We understand what's going on. We just want simple things. We want to eat. We want to have sex. And we want to do that all over again. You know, like it's sleep too. But like it's mostly those three things. So like when things are more complicated, it gets harder for us to really understand what's going on, and it gets harder to like, you know, it just feels like we're so simple and women are just so complicated. And I say this, ladies, because lady, that it's you're not complicated because you're just a complicated. Because we're all complicated. You're complicated because you have opposing views about things. So my ex-girlfriend, she was, see, I'm not used to saying that, but the women are keeping count here. Exactly, Freudian slip. I wouldn't even say she would think I was her boyfriend, but anyway, it shows you how I feel. I used to run a fraternity in college, Sigma Chi, or as many people know it as Sigma, oops, I did it again, you know, and that didn't work. So anyway, when I joined the fraternity, this was something that me and Nick were talking about yesterday, and it's funny, we have a similar background with our fraternities. When I got there was 5 fraternities. There were,
Same story.
exactly, there was Pike, that was the cool fraternity. There was Sigma Pi, that was the loser fraternity. Then there was Cal Phi, which is not a fraternity. And then there was the rape fraternity, and that was Pike. Pike doubles up. And then there was Sigma Chi, which was the nerd fraternity, okay? And no one, it was just like the girl, and anyway, this one girl I was with, trying to get with at the time, I was still a virgin. I said, what do you think I should, how should I rush? And she's like, you should do Sigma Chi, the guys are so nice. And I said, oh, great, that's what I should do, because I'm 18 years old. So I go to Sigma Chi, and we get in, and we get initiated, and everything's great, and we realize we're not getting hazed. Nothing is happening. If anything, girls don't even come to these parties anymore. So what I had to do, I became social chair. I stood up, and I did something like this, and I said, we gotta have some fun, we're gonna have a great time, it's not hoes and bros, we're gonna do, we're going to be respectful of women, goddammit! It's going to be fun, and it's going to be inviting, and so we got food, and we did fun-themed things, and we changed the fraternity, but if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. 10 years later, I showed up to alumni weekend at Santa Clara University. I go over, I can't find the Sigma Chi fraternity. I look around, I can't, so I connect with someone. I'm like, hey, where should we go? They're like, oh, go to that house. I was like, oh, it's the new house. So we go over to the new house, and the people over there, they don't look anything like us. I thought I was in good shape. I thought I was, handsome. Sure, whatever. I'm arrogant. Take it, okay? But I go over there, and everybody is 6'3", fucking looking like Thor over here. They're just like, hey, how you doing? And they're like, oh, you must be a alumni. And I'm like, yeah, I'm an alumni. Cool. They're like, and so we have a flag football game that we're going to play. So we go play flag football, and, should have done the call back. It's all right. But we go play some flag football, and we end up winning, and they end up feeling really bad. But, the truth is, the older you get, the more you realize things aren't so bad, things just seem bad when you're young. They seem hard and complicated and unfair. But the older you get, the more you can kind of accept things as they are. And so, I know I'm about to end my time here, but I told my ex-girlfriend, I said, I totally respect your decision, and we're friends. And so, I said, maybe, good luck with everything. You're an amazing person. I want to see you succeed. She wants me to succeed. And so things were great. And I said, listen, I know the last performance didn't work out too well. I know you don't like it being staged, but I'll tell you one thing. What if I'm the Steph Curry of BDSM, okay? What if I'm I'm new to the league. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm undersized, sure. But you never know what I'm going to be in 7 years, okay? I might be 2-time MVP, okay? Anyway, you guys have been great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sunda. You can find me on the #2 phone Andre on Instagram. I'm going to be posting some stuff, so...
Oh, good!
Anyway, I'll harass you later for it.
Yes, where'd she just run to? Oh, you need a key. You need the bathroom? You need a key. Oh, give her the key. You give the key to Thor. Evan, pick up. Don't start with me.
Is it men or restroom?
Restroom.
I can't
I
assume a
don't know what
gender.
the fuck.
I'm not assuming genders.
Let's give it up for our host, Sunda, real
Oh,
quick.
yeah,
Thank you, Sunda.
Thank you. Jeez, honey, I forgot to tell her I don't forget to pay. Don't you fucking people leave without pay. Because then he won't ever come back to work for me again. He left already. He must not have paid. So just to let you guys know, this is a space that we do up to 10 minutes for $10. Because you know why? When you say, well, I only have 5 minutes, well, then make your other fucking 5 and make it big so I can be rich. I want you guys to all be rich, all right? So right now, without hesitancy, which is not a word, we are here in the room with the one and only Kenzie. Let's hear it.
Yo, my grandma's name is Debbie. The whole time time you were talking about banging Debbie, I was just picturing you eating her ass. Oh. Yeah, she's got a lot of crystals too. Most of which are meth. Yeah, method grandma. Yeah, it's a thing. Oh man, I was hanging out with a couple hot lesbians all weekend. I think I might be gay now. Or like a bi prince. I think they have me convinced I'm a bi prince. Yeah. We were doing a fashion show and shrooms. It was a good time. It was a good time. But yeah, now that I'm gay, I can talk shit. So, well, fuck gay people. No, but actually no. What the fuck gay people? Bunch of anti-capitalists for the most part, you know. But they love Target. You know, what's up with that? What's up with that? That's a terrible question. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just thought it was right before this. But yeah, what else about gay people? Yeah, we had a lovely time. We had a lovely time. Yeah. Yeah. I've been listening to a lot of smooth jazz lately. Yeah. Some Louis Armstrong. Oh yeah. Heard him one time and my voice dropped an octave. As soon as I heard him sing, you like potatoes, I like, or what is it? You say potato, I say tomato. No, potato. Fuck.
You say crystal.
Let me repeat. Yeah, it's a crystal meth. Yeah. Grandma, no. Yeah, as soon as I heard her say, you say potato, I say potato, you know, my balls dropped. You know, true story. It was a week ago. A week ago today. But yeah, yeah, it's been changing my life listening to jazz. You know, I've been smoking more stoves with the boys.
Yeah.
That's become a habit. I'm
Right on.
hanging out in more dimly lit bars, kind of like the ones Ryan Gosling hung out in that movie where he kept talking about his schwanz. Yeah, I would do some things to that schwanz. Oh boy, this bi prince, this new bi prince. Take a whole load of hot mayo from that schwanz. Give me that cream. All right. Super gay. Damn it. Came out of the closet 2 days ago. No. But maybe. You'll never know. Or maybe you will. Who knows? But anyways. Yeah. Fucking jazz. Trumpets. You know, not an instrument you can pick up as an adult. Yeah. Not because we're not like capable, no, but because it's annoying as fuck. Could you imagine a 40-year-old new trumpeter as your neighbor? That would fucking suck. I got an act out for this, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm abandoning.
Do it.
It's a fucking trumpeter shit.
Do it.
Playing a wake-up call at 6 a.m. Just like. Okay. Anyways, just all right. I'm smoking so much weed today.
No excuse, smoke before.
Yeah, I can't smoke before comedy. Anyways, yeah, listening to jazz. Listen to a lot of smooth jazz lately. What else? I broke up with this chick. Fuck, she was nearly perfect. She was like so close to perfect, but I dumped her because she wouldn't call me daddy. And my ex, she would call me daddy all the time, and you can't go from a girl who will call you daddy to a girl who won't. You know, once you're daddy, there's no going back. Once you feel that power, you know, door knows.
Yeah.
Door's daddy. He is by Prince's daddy. No, my new alter ego. By Prince crazy. Patty Daddy.
I feel strangely aroused.
But yeah, fuck.
It's the math.
I even asked her, yeah. I even asked her nicely, you know. I asked her nicely to call me daddy. We were doing it, you know. We were doing it. This is all I got when I'm doing about it. I am done power fucking. You know, it upsets my tum, you know, and it takes away from the experience. And I don't need that. But yeah, we were doing it, and I asked her nicely, like, hey, would you please call me daddy? And she said, nah, bro. And I was like, wait, you'll call me bro? And she was like, no, it's just like you're kind of like a bro. Like, yeah, sure. But yeah, I followed up, you know, because I really like this chick. I followed up, and I asked her again, like, is there any chance you'd ever consider calling me daddy down the line? And she was like, no, never. It makes me think of my dad. And I kind of turned it back, and I was like, oh, gross, you think of your dad when we're having sex? Like, if you said daddy, like, what? That's not what this is about at all. Like, are you insane? But, yeah, so I ended things.
You're not over it.
I mean, I am over it. Yeah.
Is she over it?
I don't know. I mean, she sent me a snap the other day. So maybe. Yeah. She's in New York City. She's in New York City right now, eating bagels and shit. Yeah, fucking bagels. All right. To consult the notes. Oh yeah. Okay. The transition from the won't call me daddy bits. Yeah, I didn't. All right. I'm thinking. Okay. So I talked to my friend about this, and he was like, hey man, like, I think you just need to be more assertive. Like, you need to, like, make her call you daddy. Like, you know, like, because that's his move, and it works for him, you know. He's like, call me daddy, you fucking bitch. Like, vulgar, that's fucking crazy. I need a suit to be able to wear. Talk that kind of shit. I'm gonna button this up. Go get my blazer from my finance days. But yeah, he's like, you gotta be more assertive, and you know, I'm trying to be more of a tough guy. You know, like I bought a jean jacket. You know, that's a tough guy purchase. Thinking about buying a motorcycle. You know, I'm scanning the Facebook Marketplace for Vespas right now, because I feel like that's the logical progression to motorcycle, right? Start with Vespa, then 2 years down the line, get the motorcycle, and then I'm gonna get all the goth babes. All the goth babes. That's my whole goal. Get all the princesses of darkness. And now that I'm a bi prince, you know, prince.
Come up with the bit for that. Don't let that go. If you said that bit, Patty, you see what he did there? He says, "Oh, I don't have anything for that." You got something there, but we're not going to do that now because this is not what we do here. But don't say you're going to throw that away. It's great.
Throw what away?
Remember he said, "I don't have an ending for that." You have an ending for that.
For what?
The thing you were saying before, you like, "Oh, I have nothing for that. I'm going to go," and then you start doing that. But I don't have. Well, you're so funny. You just have to think about what you're saying at the same time and like tell us what you mean, like just describe it more. I want to hear about it, you know. I like that. And then you get tired. When you get tired, you just go like, ugh. You know what I mean? Like, you have to pull it off, the chicken off the bone.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
And then I look at you, my brother, my baby brother. I've been calling you, tell you I need some money. I'm kidding. I thought you were here for Joe James, and he was on the phone. He's a model, right? So he walks in, and I go, oh my God, it's Joe. And I'm thinking it was Joe James, and Joe James was on the phone. Wake up, you're in L.A. I know it's New York time, but we got to stay awake here.
My name?
Yeah.
Am I up next? Am I up next?
Well, you could be.
Oh, well, let me know. I gotta get ready.
No, you don't. We're always ready. We're in California. I'm ready for you.
Stay ready.
Stay ready.
All right, hold on.
So you don't have to get
props
ready.
and shit. Hold on. Yeah, my name is Cooper. Cooper Rigo.
So let me tell you something. Wherever you go, we go. I'm going with Cooper Migo. Let's do this. Cooper Rigo. Cooper Rigo. One time, I'm the one singing right now.
Oh, there we go. All right, now we're ready.
Hey, now we're ready.
Now, okay, now.
Now it's a party, all right. You gotta let me know. You can't just come throw me up on stage. All right. I gotta bring my music because there's no DJ here, all right? Give it for your host, Foxy Cleopatra, ladies and gentlemen. Foxy Cleopatra. There she is, there she is. That's her. See, she got the book. That's right. Give it for Erica Sundu. That's her. Right there. You guys like Erica who?
We're too young for that.
Okay. All right. This is. I went to the bathroom down there, and you can hear the mic all the way down the hall. Right? There's like a daycare next door. They're like they're listening to anal bleeding. Getting their nails done. They're like, oh God. Oh yeah. So my name is Cooper Rigo. My last name is Rigo, which is Portuguese. Right? But no one ever confuses me for being Portuguese. Right? No one's ever like, it was that Portuguese guy that tried to rob me. That guy that looks like Jeff Goldblum. That totally Portuguese looking guy over there, that's him. Never get that. People just automatically assume I'm African American, right? Which is weird, because I don't know where that is.
Me either.
Right? So if someone could Google map and show me where African American is, I'd be like, okay, I'm from there. Right? But if I am African American, I moved to Africa, now what? Now I'm African American African.
We're just American.
I don't know anybody. I don't speak the language, so I gotta move back. So now I'm African American. Right? So when I go fill out one of those boxes, I'm like, they don't have my race here. I'm actually African American squared. I need that Scantron, please. Yeah. I actually met some Africans the other day, right? So I was like, where are you from? They're like, I'm African. I was like, oh, so you're African, right? What are you? I'm like, I'm American. Right? I'm as American as cheese. You know what kind of cheese I like? African. I like African cheese. You know what? It's made of goats, lion, tiger, a little bit of elephant. Yeah, man. I just cut my hair recently. I used to have dreads like down here. Right? Like no joke. But I cut them off because they were nasty as fuck. Like, they look like white people dreads. Like it was kind of fuzzy and full of lint. So I had to cut them right off. But the whole time I had those dreads, no one was ever like, "Hey man, nice dreads. I want to get me some of those." I never got that. I usually get, "Hey man, do you know where I can find some weed?" Not that you look like you smoke, but if anyone looks like they know what a weed is, it's you. No offense. No offense. It's offensive. But I'm looking for it too. So if you want to go together, maybe we can find this weed. Nice dreads, by the way. Do you know if you Google dreads, only pictures of white people with dreads come up? Do you know that? Fucking stole dreads, man. Here's one thing white people have not stolen yet. Washcloths. Every time I take a shower at a white person's house, they never have a fucking washcloth. I'm like, just use the bar of soap? Yeah, it's fine. You mind if I stick this bar of soap up my ass? No, go for it. Leave the pubic hair on the soap. Yeah, it's fine. You can't get this pubic hair off. I tried to rinse it. Like, it doesn't come off the soap. You gotta, like, dig into the fucking soap. You don't want to keep it on your finger, so you gotta wipe it on the wall. And they don't want to leave it there, so they gotta turn the shower head and try to get the water to rinse that pubic hair so itsy bitsy spiders this way right back onto the soap, right? So you can't get rid of it. You can't leave that pubic hair there. What if that girl's roommates come home? And by roommates, I mean her husband and kids. Husband comes home after work, takes a shower, he's like, oh, fine, I can take a shower. What the hell? Your
got this Portuguese pubic hair on the wall. Hold this up to the light, see what's going on here. It's like red, yellow, and green, and mixed with a little bit of African American. Who left that there? Yeah, man. Well, what do you know? I'm from New York too. Right?
Get out! Oh, man.
I live in New York City, but I have a small apartment. My apartment's about the size of this stage, like no joke. Like the first day I walked the door, I fell out the window. It's kind of like this mic. Like you walk the door and fall onto the stage. It's like, oh shit, don't cover me now. Oh shit. I wasn't a comedian. I was just walking by. Yeah, I got a bunch of roommates in my small apartment. Well, I call them roommates. You might call them mice.
Oh, God.
All you New Yorkers in here, you definitely know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Right? I don't care how tough you think you are. The minute you see a mouse, that toughness goes right out the window, right? Because you're not sure if you actually saw a mouse, right? Because you're like, just chilling, you saw something like, oh shit! What the hell was that? Is that a UFO that just flew by? I got those sticky traps. Those mice, you can't kill New York City mice with a fucking sticky trap. I saw a mouse run, and he saw a sticky trap. He's like, oh shit, a sticky trap. He jumped, flipped over the sticky trap, grabbed the keys, got his foot stuck. He said, flipped back over the sticky trap, and kept running. I was like, what kind of Master Splinter Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle mouse was that? That's crazy. We were in a fucking pandemic, recession. I couldn't afford cheese like I used to. So you know what I did? I drew a picture of a piece of cheese. I left it on the mousetrap. I was like, this will get them.
Was it African cheese?
I came back, these fools left a picture of a mouse on the trap. And the cheese was gone. I was like, oh, I did it. So now I leave pictures of cats laying around. Like a scare mouse. They leave pictures of dogs. So I leave a picture of Michael Vick. So they know I mean business. I will hunt these mice down and hang them on my wall like deers. Deers, too. I think I put the S on the back of deers. It sounds stupid about the S on the back of deers. No one's like, hey, let's go out for a few beer. No one says that. Watch out, there's a bunch of queer in the corner. Nobody says that. I had to put that S right on the back of deers. That's just stupid.
Oh, God.
Wow. So you guys look young. Well, not you, but the rest of you guys. You guys look young. Remember your first porno tape, sir?
Yes.
Your tape, the tape cassette, the VHS tape.
Way
Remember
before that.
remember your first? Well, I know. I went through the whole transition of porn too. I started with the pop-up books. You turn a page and the bush pops up. It's like, oh my God, all this bush! So much bush! I started with those, right? Then I graduated to the VHS tape. Now, remember, the tape, you couldn't just go out and get a tape, right? You had to acquire a tape, right? Someone had to gift you a tape. And the one thing we had that you young guys don't have, we had one thing. Patience. Because when you got that tape, it was at least 6 to 8 hours before you could watch it, right? So you had to put that tape away and forget about it. Right? It was kind of like having a play date. Remember, like being young and having like a play date, like after school, like on a Friday night, and you forget about the play date. You're like at recess having so much fun. Like, oh, I'm having so much fun. Then you remember the play date. You're like, oh shit, I have a play date after this. Oh, I'm gonna have more fun after this. Right? Remember, that's what the porno tape was like. Like you get like having fun. You're like, oh, I got this tape. Oh, I can't wait to get home and watch this tape. And then when you get home, it's family Disney night. Your family's like, come on, let's get grab around the VCR. We're gonna watch The Little Mermaid. You're like, oh shit. It's been another 3 hours before I can watch this tape. I used to edit together my favorite scenes onto one tape. I was like a porn DJ. Like I take 2 VCRs and I edit together my favorite scenes. So I wouldn't have to fast forward, Because that was the worst part about the tape is if your remote control didn't work. Because then you be chilling trying to watch the shit. You're like, oh, fucking remote doesn't work. Gotta walk across the room. Fast forward to the FBI warning. She's still blowing him. Fast forward to all that shit. Oh my God, I used to have so I had my one favorite tape, right? It was the all black unmarked tape, right, with the little tab taken out the back. So if you take that tab out the back, you put the tape, you can't tape over it, right? And when you put it in the VCR, it plays right away. You remember that? So I used to have I had all football tapes and like one black tape. So my family moved me into college in my dorm room, right? And they bought me one of those tape, the VCRs with the tape, with the TV built into it, right? So everyone's in my dorm room, right? My parents, my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins. I'm the oldest of 5. Everyone's in there, right? And they're like, let's see if the VCR works.
No.
Grab a tape. I'm like, not that one. I'm in slow motion, like, not that one. And I dove, right? And then I'm in slow motion. I'm like trying to get them to stop. And they're just in real time, just like, okay, put this tape in. They're like, no. And I realized I jumped too soon. Right? So I'm like in the air and I just fell right in the middle of the room. I was like, no! Oh shit! Oh shit! No, stop! And so, like I said, when you put the tape in, it plays right away. So all of a sudden, all you see is, oh, oh, oh. My grandmother's like, oh. My grandfather's like, let me get that tape. Everyone looks at me all traumatized. I was like, welcome to college, guys. It's going to be a fuck fest. That's what's going on here. Oh, man. Whew, shit. 10 minutes, huh?
Yeah.
Right? I'm just getting warmed up.
Well.
Flew here from, you guys everyone's who's from New York? Who's from New York? Oh, everyone's,
Too
right?
many. Oh, sorry, I said it out loud.
It's like a plane here. You ever, I felt so terrible taking a plane here because, you walk through first class. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the better than the first class. That's when they got the seat when they just like, oh, you walk in, they're just like, oh, you guys, oh, you going in the back? Okay, I'm gonna take a nap. I just got on the plane, but I'm gonna take a nap while you guys walk by, right? That's first class. Then after that, there's first class where they're just like, oh, they have like there's a 2-seater, right? They're just like, oh yeah, we're in we're in second first class. And then you get to the back, and I'm sitting in the middle, flying all the way across the country, like, next to a fat guy who's spilling over onto my seat. Wait, did you give me the light? Or what's going on here?
Finish it.
You're just approaching the stage?
No, what is it? I thought you were going to fall.
I'm an athlete, baby. I do stunts and shit. That's why I like people tell me to break a leg, because I actually might break a leg.
I might break a leg.
With all the kind of shit I do. Was that 10 minutes already?
Will you finish the fucking story?
That's it.
No!
I don't have anything else. I just took
No,
the plane
finish
right
that story.
That was it.
Tell me what happened with the plane.
That was it. I don't. That's a new one.
That's a good one. So what happened to the guy? Did you nudge him?
Well, you have to fight over that armrest.
Yeah.
Because you gotta like, this is my armrest. No, it's not. You don't want to get into a fight on the plane, but oh wait, I forgot my other bit. Hold on. Did you guys see fucking Mike Tyson? That drunk dude fucking with Mike Tyson on the fucking plane?
Yeah.
Who did
what
that?
The
I
hell?
didn't see
It
it.
says just go on your Instagram.
I heard,
It'll come up. But white people do shit like that all the time. Get drunk and fuck with dangerous animals and shit. Like, I'm gonna tame this killer whale. That's what I'm gonna do. First name Killer. That's what I'm gonna do. Would you get into a cage with a raping walrus? Would you do that? I'm gonna look how cute that raping walrus is. He's not gonna rape me, is he? Alright guys, thank you. Cooper Rigo 23, Instagram. Cooper Rigo 23, thank you.
I didn't hear that.
Let me get on the microphone.
Get on the mic.
Cooper Rigo 23, Erica Sandu, ladies and gentlemen.
Erica Sandu.
Sandu, thank you.
Sandu. Who is everything Erica Banu? Badu.
Andre 3000's wife.
Right.
I mean, wife.
Right. Banu means lady, by the way, and you would go pee. Where are you running to?
Bathroom?
No, you gotta go on.
Oh,
You're
I'm up?
funnier. Yes.
Oh, okay.
You're funnier when you have to pee. What name are we using for you tonight? Oh, first of all, let's give him a round of applause. I'm so sorry, bro. You're so funny. I'm sorry. I don't know. It's not Rolf. I'm fucked up now. And I said stop. Garrett with 2 R's and 2 T's. And I got Gabrielle waiting for Garrett. So let's get Garrett to the stage. You're for Garrett. 2 R's and 2 T's.
How's it going? Okay. All right. Second time doing this shit.
There we go.
All right. Yeah. You got it. The worst is honestly the smile, like the fake bullshit smile that you're doing in front of me.
Not true.
You don't think so?
You look good. Take a picture.
Just got here this is on my 4th week in LA.
Yeah.
City of Angels is a little generous of a name to call yourself, I'll say. Okay. Shit. But I had to leave the South, okay? It was too corporate America. Like, my parents are just too corporate America. My house I live in, so corporate America. Like, the only time I wasn't in a 9 to 5 was 9 to 5 growing up, when I wasn't in the house. Like, when your mom texts you in a text thread, like, hey, we need to touch base. Touch base? Really? Where was I going to go with this one? Okay. Yeah. In text threads, you shouldn't be using terms like, let's touch base, okay? Who uses subject email phrases in your regular conversation? All right. We're going to power through this. And then, it's like it's 5:30 on a Friday. No one wants to touch base. Go to the dugout, clock out of your corporate America baseball bullshit touchy base. That was my bit on touch base.
There you go. Now he's a rapper.
Yeah. Okay. I did that one, and then I was, so I did door-to-door sales. I sold pest control door-to-door. There's all sorts of funny shit in there, but I don't know how to carve it out yet. But I sold this one couple pest control, and the next morning, the wife texted me. She wanted to sign up her mother, and I needed to come back, to sign up the mom. So, knocked on the door. She opened it. She was in some lingerie, and I tried to pull back, but I ended up pulling out. On her face. Yeah. Those were my two ones. I've written. So, but yeah.
Tell us about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm from Atlanta.
There you go, Highland.
ATL, ho. ATL. So, from Atlanta, and I went to University of Tennessee. I was in the fraternity.
All right.
I was in a cool fraternity.
All right.
But I wasn't cool in the fraternity. I just got in the cool fraternity.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was in there and did door-to-door sales, came here, and now I'm in the fire talking to you guys.
Yeah. Like you're supposed to.
Yeah. And while I'm up here, I might as well just talk. I'm a forgetful person. I literally will go into a sandwich shop. I will order a sandwich, and then I'll get a drink with it. I'll fill up the drink, and I will leave and have forgotten the sandwich. I will do it. I'll also I'll leave before I get the check, and I'm not dining and dashing. I'm just like walking out, and they're like, "No, you didn't pay."
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's the best way to steal.
This guy knows.
Photos all.
Professional.
I'm so tempted to hang out with you.
Yeah. Everybody is tonight.
Yeah. Really.
We're
Yeah.
having a party tonight.
Yeah, for real.
In Rockland.
Yeah.
Bear crawling.
But I have in the door-to-door sales, I would use this really cool thing called a one wheel. It's like an electric skateboard thing. And yesterday, writing these goddamn jokes, I got in my car after writing them, and I left my fucking one wheel.
Where?
At the coffee shop. $2,000 fucking dollars.
Oh fuck.
And it's gone. And I've been lonely here, and like that one wheel has kind of been like my best friend. Like it felt like Tom Hanks in the movie Castaway
Yeah.
when he loses Wilson. I can't tell you how fucked up I was when I realized I left my one wheel. I was like, that was my best friend.
What's her name or his name?
Yeah, a name.
Okay, so I named it the G Slingster. I was obsessed when I was younger with G. When I started with G-Man. Middle school, I transitioned to G-Unit. Then I got obsessed with. I was a big Riff Raff fan. And he talks about Versace, so I transitioned from G-Unit to G-Sachi. And G-Sachi caught on. People liked the G-Sachi thing. But, you know, it didn't, I don't know, I tried to act like a big player with the whole G-Sachi thing, but I was a virgin. I was a late bloomer. And when you're good looking and you're a late bloomer, it's not a good combo. It's not a good combo. So, I'm not ready to do like the sex jokes because I feel like it's just gonna be forced. But I know they're in there, so.
Great. It's good not to force anything sexual.
There we go.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We will give you consent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn, you guys are just freaking brilliant geniuses out here. Yeah, those are good.
We're very lonely.
Dude, welcome to hang out with me. I answer right now. I'm lonely enough to answer the spam calls. Even if they're automated messages, I'm like, oh, dude, how's your day going? And I'm just like, please give us your credit card information.
I can give you Debbie's Instagram.
Whoa, Dirty Debbie!
There we go.
Keep my grandmother's name out of your mouth.
Yeah, and I'm around too many homeless people, and I feel like I'm in like a horror movie where like I'm going to end up turning into a homeless person. Like I see all these crackheads like going around just like doing this, and it stresses me the fuck out.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden I'm memorizing, scenes for acting class, and I'm on the street going like this. And I'm like, hold on, this is not good.
This happened to me. That happened to me, man.
Really?
I worked on a commercial. I'm sorry. I worked on a commercial with a dude, maniac. I'm in the streets of New York. Some guy comes by, talking to himself. Everyone thinks he's homeless. The guy was a famous actor. He was paid. He was reciting his lines.
Stanley Tucci.
Oh, I wasn't. Yeah.
Or was he on a phone?
I never judged anyone talking to themselves again. No, he was talking.
Yeah, I think people might think. I think in the coffee shop today, people thought I was like a big shot because I kept like. I think they're like, damn, he must be like preparing for a big time.
You look like a big shot, man.
You are a big shot. You're here. Yeah.
So, I saw a homeless guy's asshole.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And when you see an asshole, it's such a unique part of the body that you're not familiar with seeing. That you are figuring it out. You're staring at it, and you're like figuring out like what the hell is this? And I'm like, oh wow. He was laying down with a sheet on, and then he just hikes his legs over his head like it was like Pirates of the Caribbean, the Kraken, like the mouth. And I got sucked right into. I mean, I locked eyes with her.
Been there.
Now you're good.
It made me mad. It made me.
Did it wink at you?
I saw a homeless guy's cock. It was huge, and I was really jealous.
I haven't seen a homeless guy's dick.
Well, you guys get together after the show.
We got them.
All right, I'll say it. This was kind of the thing in my head. I don't know if it is. Anyone kind of like when you see like someone's bending down and like are you kind of tempted to see if their ass crack is showing just to like I don't know.
Complain.
Yeah.
Want to see his pants are down.
Yeah, I'll take a look sometimes. Sometimes I'm busy.
Yeah.
Are we on
Yeah.
that?
I want to compare myself.
I always that's how I judge it. When your back is kind of showing, if the ass crack is out, you're a loser. I just I kind of put a label on it. I'm like, your ass crack is out, dude. Come on.
Do you know what it means in jail?
You're available.
Available.
Maybe that's what they do.
That was too easy.
I worked in a prison.
Really?
You see, I'm standing on the stage not being afraid in this fucking neighborhood, so I must have worked somewhere tough.
Prison would fuck me up.
Yep, because you're a cutie pie.
You'd be very popular. Very popular. Extremely popular. I would never want for cigarettes if we were
Just tell people you have HIV.
All right. Oh.
All right, guys. Thank you
Took
so
you for
much.
that.
I'll make this so much.
New York, everyone. Good job, Garrett.
Thank you. Hey, and don't put your Instagram account.
G-Sachi on
So-
Instagram.
Gisachi, baby.
Yeah.
Gisachi.
I've never met a riffraff that had before.
So my last name's Matchin. So my Instagram name is Matchin Socks.
Yeah. Matching socks.
That is so cute. Matching socks.
Oh, you better not leave that in the car. You'll miss the comedy of the one and only Nadar. Let's go, Nadar. Hey, let's do it.
Hello, my hostages. Hello, hostages. Yeah.
Hostages.
Open mic night. Yeah, feeling it. All right. My name is Nadir. I'm the youngest of 7 children. I don't come from a big family. No, I got a lot of white people. Y'all got small families, I know. Youngest of 7 children. Yeah, y'all do. Y'all don't even know what cousins are and shit. You know, you barely do. Youngest of 7 children, and one of my sisters would tell me I was a mistake constantly. You know, she would let me know I was an accident, a mistake. So one day I just decided to say, fuck it. I asked my mom. I said, Yumma, like, was I a mistake? She's like, no, Habibi, no. You were all mistakes. All 7 of you motherfuckers. Yeah. No one comes out number 7 on purpose. Speaking of family, my big brother recently got divorced. You know what I'm saying? Woo. Yeah, exactly. It's not all bad news. No, not at all. But he did. That didn't mean he had to move in with my mom. He had to live back home. You know, he's back home, and he's unemployed, and he developed a hoarding problem. No. Yeah. Basically what I'm saying, I know a lot of ladies love this. Ladies, my brother's available. It takes a lot of gumption, a lot of courage to develop a hoarding problem when you're unemployed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how you do that. Going in a 99-cent store, that's how you do that. But besides that, what else? What else going on with me? I found out recently that I'm not very good at sex. You know what I'm saying? I know some of y'all kind of bragging, but I'm just not very good at sex. I'm just not good at it. And the thing is, I'm not willing to get better. You know what I'm saying? I'm not willing to put in the work. It's not gonna happen. My wife suggests different things, and like she brought up to me one time, she's like whipped cream and little chocolate syrup on the body, trying sexy time. And I thought that was kind of insensitive because she knows the history of diabetes in my family. You know? She knows the history of it. Diabetes killed my father, y'all. You don't even know. It did. But she also brought out like pink fuzzy not whips, but handcuffs one time. And I had to remind her. I was like, I've been arrested, girl. That's not fun time. That's not gonna get naked and then have you handcuff me, and then just no. I'm not cool with that. I'm too traumatized. What else? Foot play. Some people are into foot fetishes. Statistically speaking, like a third of you all are. You know what I'm saying? Probably into some feet play. I can't get down with feet, and I wish I could get down with feet, but my wife has this big ass toe, and her toe is like disproportionately large, and she owns it. I'm proud of her. But her toe kind of reminds me of this headless microphone. You know what I'm saying? Just sticks out sometimes. So I grabbed that shit. I just want to sing into it. I'm like, baby, I love you. So what's up with that big ass toe? Whoa. I don't sing very well, but I try. No. Some white friends of ours suggested whips. You know what I'm saying? A little S&M. I heard a little BDS&M, but a little S&M old school. Suggested some whips. I was like, who else but white friends would suggest whips? You know what I'm saying? Suggest whips in the bedroom or anywhere else for that matter. White people love whips. I don't know what it is. I heard old boy do a whipping center earlier with his belt. I'm like, see, you know what I'm saying? I'm too much of an ally to black folks to have fucking the accessories of chattel slavery just hanging around in my linen closet. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna happen. All right. It kind of got me thinking about how many white progressive homes are there in the United States that have something like a Black Lives Matter sign on the outside, and on the inside, all the accoutrement of fucking, enough slavery equipment to run a plantation, basically, right? They got enough whips and fucking chains up in that piece talking about sex play. I know, but at any rate, the reason why we're trying to have a little bit more sex is it's not even for fun. You know what I'm saying? No, we're trying to have a child. You know what I'm saying? And we're trying to have a baby. Yeah. I love how y'all applaud. That's cool. Y'all applauded trying to have it. Because usually people applaud when you have it, but that's cool. But trying, that's good. Just put in the work. But at our age, that means getting a little help. You know what I'm saying? You were trying to gauge my age earlier. You're like, I think he had a VCR. I'm trying to figure out where is he at? Where's he at with them grades? My older brother had that VCR. I had to mess with that. But yeah, that means getting me a new doctor and got me my own OBGYN. What you know about that? My own Obi-Wan Kenobi, my own gynecologist. And they kind of assess you, and you gotta get broken down basically. So they tell you information you don't want to know. They told me my sperm were geriatric, for example. They took my sperm geriatric. And I'm not looking at you, sir, because you are, but sorry. Next time I'll go to Patty. Don't worry. They took my sperm geriatric, and they also tell you your sperm are like swimmers. So I'm like geriatric swimmers. I thought I had like Michael Phelps, you know what I'm saying, type action. Turns out I got like elderly ladies in the aqua aerobics class, just barely moving. Get those hands up, ladies. You know that shit? You know that shit? The exercise. Oh, man. But they also told me my sperm count was low. And I looked at the doctor and I said, that's fine. You know, Ukrainian soldier count was low too. But they're holding it down. They're holding it down. They're doing the job. And but they gave my wife better news. They told her that her uterus lining is beautiful. Yeah, they told her uterus lining was fluffy and beautiful. Right? I'm like, man, yeah, Doc, but have you seen her big toe? Have you seen those shit? I know we're doing 10, but I'm gonna let my hostages off a little bit tonight, a little early, and so I'm gonna leave it there. My name is Nathan. You can find me at Professor Haddad on Instagram, and yeah, that's my time. Appreciate it.
But what about your wife's big toe? You gotta give her a name. You gotta give it a name. Say Habitbi. Because it's a female, it's Habitbi, right?
I'm gonna call her Debbie.
Oh wait, she's
no Debbie.
No Debbie, no dirty Debbie. No dirty Debbie. We got
Let's give it up for y'all soon. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Or as they say, merci. And I want to say that we have somebody coming up that doesn't want to come up probably, but she's going to come up and introduce herself. Let's give it up for Gabrielle. Gabrielle, come here. Where'd she go?
She obviously didn't want to come up.
I guess she
Let's go to the bathroom.
Is that the girl who left?
She left like 20 minutes ago.
Let's find her and
let's go get her.
let's grab her.
Oh.
We all just run out.
I feel terrible.
We gotta start locking the door.
Gabrielle!
Waller!
Turn off the jokes.
It's the New York humor.
Yeah, you're really trying to.
No, I feel bad. Do you see how fucking great this show was tonight? For real. Right? Was this a great show? You guys gotta give yourselves a round of applause. You gotta follow me. You gotta get with it and help me out and just like have fun with this shit. Make believe you're at a bat mitzvah and that everybody, the cheap bastards behind you, okay, that don't want to give you a good check, and be yourself, and you will see how easy it is. And guys, follow me soon to live, LA School of Comedy. I appreciate you, and most of all, please everyone, to our producer, Wes Bacquar. I don't know how to ask for a little music, but it's my turn to get off my shoes. Good night.
Yeah. Here we go.
Here's that toe. I can show you my toe. I hope. Does she have gout? Does she have gout like that?
She has like a her big toe is like
It's
3
taller?
times like the size of all her other toes. You know?
Just came to watch the ice your testicles.